Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at PVPOKE'S #1 team. They also have a list always for like top teams. There are also several. Maybe I try some more as well. If you want to see more videos like this, also if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. But anyway, we're going to take a look here today at the new top team from PVPOKE. I think basically how this works on PVPOKE is there's like a training feature where people can just test out teams against computer or whatever, and the best team in terms of win rate and stuff like this kind of gets high up there. That's at least what I think it works. Maybe I'm completely wrong with that. Could be the case as well. But we're going to have actually an interesting team here today. I actually was excited to play this team. You always take a look at the PVPOKE teams, and some of them were a little bit more, I don't know, lamer or whatever. But this is unique and interesting here, in my opinion. We're going to have the lead of Skeledirge, a Pokemon that is still okay to use. I feel like it got a little bit less common recently again. We're going to have the Say-Swap of Umbreon, which is going to be able to usually bait out something like the what's called the Annihilate. Annihilate is the Pokemon that we actually see as well, where we can actually align ourselves a lot of times against as well, which is cool because Annihilape's charge moves usually are resisted, which is a cool matchup for us. And we also get rid of Annihilate then for the Vigoroth, and so it does make quite a lot of sense. I would most likely change the moveset of the Umbreon a little bit. I don't think Last Resort really helps you a lot. I feel like Psychic might be a little bit better just in order to make the matchup for you a little bit easier as well against the Annihilate itself. You can also even argue to go for double dark charge moves, or like Dark Pulse as well as Foul Play, which can also help you out a little against the Annihilate as well. But yeah, Last Resort, it's a little bit tricky. Sometimes I actually encountered a Germnaa as well, where Last Resort is of course a little bit nice, but in general I like this team idea as well. Like, you have two Pokemon weak to fighting in the back, you have a Pokemon good against fighting in the lead, and so on paper it does make sense, right, as you can win the first battle here as well. Yeah, it does make sense. I have to say, I definitely misplayed some of the battles as well, which is just due to, I feel like, okay, yeah, here, for example, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, we're going to have a lead that is going to be able to completely wall our lead. I guess it's neutral, actually. Like, LilyKatchum and Skeledirge is neutral because Incinerate is doing quite a lot of damage. Disarming Voice is going to be neutral. They have a super effective fast move of Lick, but they only have resisted charge moves of Power Whip as well as double resisted Body Slam. And so it's actually more of a neutral one, but of course we have two good answers against the LilyKatchum in the back. There's no reason for me to stay in if I have literally the two best answers, I think, against LilyKatchum in the back here with Umbreon plus the Vigoroth. Especially Vigoroth is such a great matchup for us. But as you can see here, Azumarill is one of the trickiest Pokemon to deal with a team. And what I have to say for today's battles is I feel like I got insanely unlucky with the matchups that I had. I feel like it's not really representing the team very well, just mainly because I got hard-walled so many times with teams that I did not really expect, with like Pokemon like Poliwrath that all of a sudden completely made a comeback against me. I feel like I'm currently in higher up elo range. When I played this team here, I was in the top 250, where the video is going to be out later today, which team I used for this, so definitely feel free to subscribe if you have not already. Feel free to check that real quick. But yeah, I have a great team coming up later on that I also stole from someone else, though, so it's not really my own idea, but I'm of course always giving credits to the people anyway. But it's going to be out later. We'll most likely publish it a little bit earlier for channel supporters, but definitely a cool team there as well. And of course, we had really high elo range, and of course, team is going to be a little bit different. So what I want to say with that is I'm fairly certain this team most likely has more play in a little bit lower elo ranges as well, because just teams are a bit different. Anyway, here we're gonna play. I think he is Indian. I think it's one of the best players in the world as well. Baltzboy here, one of the ones that usually hit rank 1 in the world as well. They're going to run the Shadow variant of Gligar in the lead here. Maybe I can steal their team, who knows, and I don't even know. Well, I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Gligar's quite awkward for us to deal with. Well played by the opponent here, because I know that they can still survive one, and look at this, they're going to be a Poliwrath in the back. And so, yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be very, very tough, and this is going to be something that happens just quite often. The amount of fighting type Pokemon that I encounter in the back is quite awkward. And the awkward thing about it as well is just that the amount of times that people just get out of this matchup with a million energy is just annoying. And this the main problem that I had with this team here is basically that people were able to take advantage of that Umbreon Say-Swap and then punish my lead of Skeledirge. And if you take a look at the most common fighting type Pokemon, currently it's Poliwrath as well as the Annihilate, and both of those Pokemon are really good in terms of the charge move usage against our lead. And this is the main issue I feel with this team. I feel you can have the backline. I think the backline is kind of cool, but you would need like kind of different lead than Scalar Dirge, because Scalar Dirge just going to be too weak against anything that like Annihilate has as a charge moves, or like Poliwrath has a charge moves, and you need something that can kind of resist those, because here, I, by the way, didn't care about switch alignment in this battle because we saw already the Trevenant in the lead, and Trevenant in the lead is going to be fine for both our Scalar as well as our Umbreon, and so I don't really need to tell you here that this battle is already over at this point, because what is the opponent's Trevenant supposed to do here? Like, I don't really know. I don't think they really know, but yeah, we're gonna see the Drogon coming through here. Great job there, Drogon. Didn't really work out for you, but we can go for another charge move, and if this move goes through, the game is kind of over a little bit faster than maybe you want to, and I decided to just swap because the opponent would forfeit immediately. Next up, one of the best German battlers here, Stone Collection. Yeah, I actually battled them as well in Utrecht, and I won against them. Get absolutely wrecked there. I got like 3rd place in Utrecht as well. The last regional, I think I was going to a regional afterwards as well. I think the EOIC last like 2 years ago now, basically, or like 1.5 years ago, was like the last regional I went to. Really want to go back to regionals, to be fair. It's just time and money-wise not really possible for me right now, so it is what it is. But yeah, definitely something I kind of want to do in the future again. Here, sadly, they definitely take a revenge of me there, as well as I get walled again. Like, this is the thing as well with this team that just happened to me so often, that there were so many scenarios where I just had nothing really I could have done. And here, yeah, I get out the Dragonair, that's lovely, but at the end of the day, Dragonair is just going to be able to knock me out here. I was hoping I would survive this, and I just decided to fall out here. Like, I had no real play of winning this one. I kind of want to see what they had in the back, but then again, like, there's not even a chance of me really breaking through the core of the opponent here, and I just decided to just give it up at this point. Moving on, next opponent, a great lead for us, and I think this is one of the games that I maybe misplay a little bit, because I think I forgot like middle way through what they had in the lead, which is kind of course, not the ideal way of doing it, but also, this game also kind of annoyed me, and you'll see why it's going to annoy me very, very soon. Here we're going to be able to go into the Umbreon, which is a very neutral matchup, right? Unless you're gonna get the 10% drop chance of the Moonblast, which is completely flipping the entire matchup, because that's going to have so much impact on it. I would have been able to 3-shot them, and look at this, we have like no shot F doing anything against them. I like would have been able to easily knock them out now with the next foul play, and I would have been able to let the move go through, align myself, everything happy. No, not anymore, thanks to the 10% chance of Moonblast debuffing. And like basically everything kind of went against me with the team, and while I usually... like, always kind of PvPoke teams are a little bit tricky because they are not, like, based on... I think they're not really based on anything Go Battle League related. I think it's just, like, from, like, the training tool and what people are trying to do there. And I have used the training tool back in the day as well. Like, it's a good tool to start learning PvP, but, like, it's basically for the people that are learning PvP. So... yeah, I feel like the teams sometimes don't really make too much sense. I think this time around, I was just quite unlucky. I don't really want to blame the team too much on it. I like the idea actually of the team. I think there are some struggles with some certain Pokemon and some matchups that we had here. But in general, I could see this team actually performing quite well, in especially like lower up elo range. But here, for example, I forgot about the Wigglytuff in the back and was like, oh no, I got rid of my Scalar, and I don't think I had to get rid of my Scalar there. I just decided to do that, and that was not really ideal for me. And so my only hope here is now to catch the move onto my Umbreon, which I tried to wait out for, didn't work out, and so we just forfeit. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have another Wigglytuff in the lead. Maybe this time around we can have a little bit of a better time against this Pokemon. This time around they decide to stay in here as well, which means that they're going to be double weak to Scalar. Might be the Bastion Victorial backline. I have no idea by the way at this current time, but I could see this being the case. Always calling it the backline is kind of important a lot of times as well here. We decide to go for the full farm down, and I swap out straight away. And look at this, it's a Bastion. What a surprise. It might be a Victory Bell in the back now as well. Or like, what's called Tropius. Tropius kind of took Victory Bell's place recently, just because Tropius has more bulk and is even more annoying. I actually kind of want to build the most annoying team, which would be have like something like Acid Spray and Leaf Tornado and stuff like this the entire time, which I have to see if I can actually do this, because it would be kind of hilarious. But yeah, I have to still, like, it was just an idea of mine right now, which I maybe want to do for the future, just for fun, like not for fun for the opponents, but would be kind of funny, to be fair. Anyway, we're going to see here the foul play coming through. We're going to be able to get them kind of low. I would expect that they're going to have that Victory Bell in the back, and I think we're going to be still fine against the Victory Bell, so I'm not really too worried. I can go into my Vigoroth, and it's not going to be a Victory Bell. It's still going to be a Grass-type Pokemon, though, with that Trevenant, and so we can go for that Rock Slide, try to force a Shield, which is fine. I can go for a Disarming Voice, which is also fine, and I force a final shield from the opponent here, which is happy. I would not get to a Shadow Ball, and so Disarming Voice just puts them into range where one Rock Slide is going to be enough to knock them out, and so we're going to be in quite a decent spot at this point, because the opponent has nothing really to do. Like, the only way of them winning the battle is if they could catch a move, but I'm fairly certain they're still switch locked, and this is going to be a CMP type. The game is kinda over, and we're actually going to be able to win a battle again, which is quite lovely, isn't it? But yeah, this is definitely going to be it for this game, as the Bastion gonna go down. Next opponent. I think this battler is also quite a decent one. I think I remember their name as well. Registeel in lead. Lovely Force, Annihilate safe swap, lovely Force as well. Well played by the opponent here as well in terms of timing, because they just barely get to the Night Sledge. I have no idea, by the way, why I shielded this one. Like, this did not make any sense at all for me. This was a mistake, definitely, like, for sure. But also, of course, the opponent gets the buff immediately here, because otherwise I would have stopped out into the Umbreon already, because Umbreon would have been able to just knock them out with a foul play and take any kind of charge move from the opponent. But no, the game decided against it today. Like, honestly, again, I feel like I was really unlucky with this team, and I don't think, like, I think the gameplay kind of shows also what I mean with that. I'm literally getting every kind of debuff and buff onto the opponent against me, which is quite annoying and quite changes a lot of games. I think I would have had most likely some positive results. Also, like, they are going to be, I think there's still one battle coming up, most likely, where I completely misplay. So, like, again, there are going to be some battles that I could have definitely won also if I just played a little bit better, but it is still kind of, yeah, it's kind of a little bit annoying. There's still, of course, some issues with the team as well. But yeah, well played, by the way, from the opponent to undercharge this play, like this Pokemon, this charge move so much, which is going to allow them to farm me fully down here. While I still get two moves here, it is still going to be quite interesting for them, because now they're going to be able to go for a charge move, and I don't think that a Zapcan going to knock me out here. This was at least what I was expecting, because I thought I had a little bit more bulk. Turns out I am wrong, and here, look at this. It's, by the way, the game that I misplay. I should have just went for the charge move straight away. I didn't think that I could go for 6, but only I could go for 5. And let's take a look what they have in the back. It's a Lickitung. I would have completely destroyed them. This game is completely on me, completely misplayed it, but it's what it is. Let's move on to the next opponent. What a lovely lead this is. Look at this. So we're going to see the swap out straight away into the Annihilate, and again, hopefully this time around they don't get the boost, and I don't know why I didn't go straight for the Disarming Voice, because I should have. I definitely should have. But I make another mistake here as well. Oh, look at this. They can go for another Night Sledge. I can let the move go through, though, so I don't have to use another shield. Thing is here, I don't really care too much about this matchup. You might think, oh my god, you kind of have to keep your fire type against that ice and steel type. But if you look closely, we have a counter user in the back, and so alignment does not matter at this point. Oh, look at this, a Mantine, that's happy for us. Let's go for another charge move, and as long as I can align my Vigoroth against the opponents, yeah, Pokemon there in the back, I'm going to be fine. I'm not worrying about anything here right now. Letting the move go through, goodbye there, our good fire Crocodiddly, as the Mantine is going to go up against our Umbreon. We can perfectly align ourselves, and I don't have to really tell you, but like, this game is kinda over. The opponent doesn't know yet, I know already. There is no way in hell that this is going to go their way, basically. We can just go for the foul play. This is going to be able to, yeah, get them kind of low, and I think I'm actually going to be able to even align myself here, because look at our health, look at the opponent's health, and even if we don't align ourselves, we're still going to be able to just farm them down with our Vigoroth, get a ton of energy, go for a double body slam, and knock out the opponent as well. So like, there is no way of them winning the battle, and this is kind of for sure now, and after, yeah, going into the Vigoroth, they decide to forfeit anyway. Let's take a look at the final battle of today. Let's see what they're going to have. They're going to have the Thackery on the lead, which is a very awkward Pokemon for us to deal with, especially if they're going to get those Moonblast debuffs. But let's see what they're coming into. It's going to be that Annihilate. And again, this is okay. Like, this is usually a matchup that even Umbreon can win, which is kind of mad, only like in the 0, I think. Maybe even in the one-shot scenario you can win this. But issue is still, of course, that they can get a million energy, and like, where are we gonna go into? Into the Vigoroth, which doesn't do damage against them, or into the Skeledirge, which is going to take super effective hits against them. Anyway, we were seeing here that the opponent is going to let the Annihilate go down, which is actually great for us, because that energy would have been very awkward for us to deal with. But we're gonna see also Greedent coming in. And Greedent is just so spammy. Like, look at this thing. Like, literally every 2 fast moves is gonna get to a charge move here, apparently. But We can still go for the body slam, and looking at the damage here, I was really hoping this would be enough to knock them out. Turns out, no, it's not, and we are forced to go for another charge move. If I went for the rock slide, by the way, I would have been able to farm him down in time, which would have been great. So, misplay by me, I guess, but does it really matter? It doesn't, like, it literally doesn't. Like, I don't think there's a way of me getting to another body slam after this one anyway, and so, like, cool, would have been able to maybe save a little bit of energy there, but I don't think it really mattered. But anyway, we're gonna see here this guy attack coming through. We're forced to go for the disarming voice. It is going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, as we are forced to go for another disarming voice afterwards to have any chance of winning this battle. The opponent goes for a charge move, and yeah, this is going to be it for this video and also this battle, because there's nothing I can do with it again. This team did not work out for me, but I don't really usually showcase those teams that don't work out, but I feel like it's also kind of some refreshing thing for you to see that some teams don't work for me as well. I still think this team has potential though. I think I was just part me misplaying and part me having very bad matchups and was very unlucky with a lot of boost and nerfs, and it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.